What's up, guys? I've got a backtesting video for you here today. I'm going to try and go through a lot of good ideas, good thoughts. I'm going to show you my discretion for today. So this is probably going to end up being a long one like a lot of the other backtesting videos. So really quick, I'll go over what you need to know before watching this video. So I trade continuation. For me, that just means during New York session coming into the day, I'm looking for a higher time frame draw on liquidity or draw for price. And then we're just looking for a protected entry toward that draw. In terms of when we're going to be backtesting, you'll see I have ChatGPT pulled up. We're just going to pick a random month just so you know that I'm not just picking some really easy month to trade. It might be a good month, it might be a bad month, but just so that it's some randomness and not behind it. I'm not just planning a good month. And if you haven't seen one of these before, basically what I do is we'll try and get through the entire month, but the thing is I leave these pretty uncut because I want to show you all my thoughts. And I'm not going to lie, I don't want to drag this video out super long. I'd rather show you 5 to 10 good trades, honestly closer to the 5 side, good trades, than make this a 2-hour video with me analyzing a ton of different days throughout the entire month. No one wants to watch a 2-hour backtesting video, let's be honest. So I'd rather just give you 5 to 10 really good days of good analysis. So we'll just see how the price action is. If I'm skipping a lot of days, I might get closer to the end of the month, but I don't think we've ever made it through one, maybe once or twice. So we'll just see what happens, but we're gonna pick a random month and then just get to it. So we've got March here. So I'm going to get this set up real quick and then we'll get to it. By the way, I ended up picking 2023 for this video. I went through the list that I have going for the month that I backtested, and I don't think I've posted anything in 2023. Honestly, for the last couple of years, it doesn't really matter. They're all pretty similar, but I just wanted to do something slightly different and I want to make sure that I didn't repeat anything. So March 2023 for today, and we're just going to get to it. So coming into this day here, like I said, we're trading continuation. We're looking for a higher time frame draw, and in this case we're just going along with the trend. So as you'll see, we have a pretty big down leg forming here. So the first thing I'm looking at is this low. I like to pay attention to also draws above and below, because as a continuation trader, the most important thing is that I'm going along with the trend. Even if I think we're super bearish, unless I just really see no good reason for us to go higher, then I'm gonna follow along with the trend. So you know what I mean? I'm okay with taking longs if longs are presented. So this would be the higher draw, but ultimately this is the draw I want to see get hit first. So we're going to look for this draw to get hit, but if it doesn't, then it's cool. So let's just see what happens here. Off of open, we're already showing that we kind of want to come lower. I like the way we broke that. Let's see if we get a bit of a retrace here. Okay. I'm liking this retrace that's forming. If we can flip here, as long as we get a flip before 750, just because I don't want to enter too close to the news, then I'll enter short down to the lows. I just want to see some displacement to actually show that this isn't a total reversal and that it is just a retrace. So let's see here. Okay. Not presenting itself yet. Let's check the 5-minute, 15-minute here. Okay, so this 15-minute candle doesn't look too bad to me because we're still respecting all these gaps above. Of course, we're respecting these gaps below as well, but I still feel better for shorts here. Let's see what happens. News comes in. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this price action isn't the best, but it's starting to get this down move. Like I said, 15-minute was looking good for shorts, and I feel we have a pretty good break-even point, which is right here. So I think this is a good entry short, honestly. How many points? Let's check the RR though. 29 points. And then we could probably go for a 120. You could even put your stop loss right above this candle. It doesn't really matter. We'll just go here. And like I said, we have a good break-even point, which is going to be this low to the left. So, okay, yeah, there's the low. And then, if we don't take it here, I'll start trailing. But I imagine we're only 8 points away, 7 points away. So, nice. Okay. Pretty nice. Like I said, the price action wasn't the best, and this is kind of a big move, but as you can see, it's clearly showing that it doesn't want to come any higher. It's rejecting off of all this stuff, and if you check the hourly, it's obviously way more bearish. So pretty solid. I love to start off with a dub. When I start with an L, it really ruins the tone for these videos, but okay, nice right there. Let's check the 4-hour here. Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm already not loving this because we're more bearish overall, but we're inside these gaps, so kind of just depends what it gives us. We could trade higher up to this depending on if we flip out of these 4-hour gaps, but otherwise, if we come lower, I don't really know what to target here. We could just target one of these gaps to see if this got hit. Not yet. Okay, so let's see what happens here, but I'm not really favoring one draw or the other. Okay, this might have been a news candle. I'm liking the 630 candle low-key. This could have been a news candle. Let me go back to the hourly. All right, let me see if we get a trade up to here, but looks like it's coming for it. I'm not entering this here, but I think we're gonna take out whatever the top of this is. I'm pretty sure that's a news candle. At least it looks like a big candle. Obviously, we're not taking this for 5 points, but I imagine it gets taken. Okay, see what happens out of here too. Okay, just kind of chopping around. All right, we're getting a bit of a retrace, it looks like here. And like I said, we're inside the 4-hour gaps. So we're rejecting nicely out of these 4-hour gaps. We also took out this pretty prominent low. You'll see, like I said, these are the gaps I'm talking about, by the way. I don't always mark them out anymore because I just kind of like see them, but this is what I mean. Like, as you'll see, swept this low, and then we're tapping into this gap, starting to reject nicely. We also have like this unfilled 4-hour, which is like more of the draw than this high, but like the more important draw, I feel like. So let's see if we can get a flip out of this. Like if we get a nice move to the upside like this with displacement, right, then we could take a trade up to the highs. See right here. That is pretty good. I kind of wanted to see one more candle go higher, but I don't know. I'm afraid that we're just gonna like take it because it's starting to get volume. Should we just, I think I'll just enter here. This is pretty good, and like I like this candle. Obviously it could have closed slightly nicer. You could wait for one more candle, but I feel like the draw is pretty clear, so I'm going to go ahead and take this here. By the way, I'm just going fixed $1,000 risk on every trade today, so just how we're gonna do it. We'll go break even like once we hit this top of that. Okay, nice. Good way to start. Yeah, you'd see you definitely could have entered based off this candle, and then you could have put your stop loss like at these candle bodies down here, but doesn't really matter, I feel like. Okay, nice trade there. Starting off 2-0. See, this might be a quick one today. I'm plenty okay with that. It's Saturday night, so I'm not trying to be sitting here forever. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, so obviously we're overall like more bullish. At least this leg, right, is more bullish, but we did take out this high. We just had a day like this, literally this week, where we were more bullish overall, but we just took out a high. So you definitely want to pay attention to the reaction off this high. If we just start dipping, like after sweeping this high, you definitely don't want to force longs. I don't know. We haven't even closed above this hourly gap here either. So this is something I'm paying attention to for sure, because if we're not able to like close through this, then we might not want to like come higher. So definitely pay attention to the way we react here. But overall, like I said, we're more bullish. So this would be the main target depending on the reaction for sure. So we'll also mark out this low because we could be coming lower. But this one's already getting a bit of a retrace. Like we could honestly see something like this potentially. Like we're already getting the move up. If we get this here, nice displacement out, we could be coming for the highs. But let's just see what we get off open. Okay, so down candle first. I definitely recommend going through all your time frames, right? It gives you a better idea of what's going on. You don't want to lurk on pretty much any time frame unless, obviously, if you have tested data, do what you want. But at least for what I do not recommend it. So you'll see 5-minute here is starting to reject that gap. We're inside these 15-minute gaps. Like I still think, I mean, overall, I think we want to come higher. We'll see if we kind of like tap this area and reject, or if we just like inverse all this and come higher though. I don't like this candle, bro. If this got a nice closure to the upside, low-key would have entered longs. All right. This might be enough for longs, honestly. Yeah, bro, look at that. 15-minute. Totally like starting to flip. You could wait for one more candle here, but I think this is good for longs, honestly. Longs up to here, and then stop loss. I don't really like having like less than a 20-point stop. It just doesn't feel that safe for a continuation. So we'll just set like a flat 20. You could put your stop loss here, but just like, you know, I don't try to be all that in trading. I like to go for all like low R. It makes like the trades feel safer, you know, like just because even if you're right on the idea, you could definitely get manipulated out of like 15-point stop loss. So we're gonna leave a little bit of room just for it to run. We'll go for this here. See. Okay, that's a nice movement. In terms of a break even, you could go break even here, I suppose. But I kind of wanted to just see a little bit more movement, so it's good that we got a nice candle like that, a nice closure, because this makes me feel safe to go break even. If this starts like like toying with us. If it doesn't just go to the draw, then we'll trail, but let's just see. Okay. Damn, I don't even need to. Okay, I'm feeling kind of nice right now. We 3-0, so see what happens here. Okay. All right, we're low-key due for this because the last 3 days we're kind of free. I feel like there's not really a great draw, honestly. Like I don't really like this range, but we're still clearly like more bullish than bearish, I would say. So we'll mark out this. I'm going to mark out a lower draw as well, just because I'm not really liking this in here. We could definitely be slowing down, but overall, I think we do want a long draw. We haven't taken this out yet, but this would be like the main draw overall, so we'll just see if we trend toward that. This is kind of the same idea as the previous day, right? If we're clearly more bullish overall, we're already getting this big leg up, so we get that retrace, boom, candle like this, it already shows me that we want to come higher, so let's kind of see what happens. I don't want to force an entry too early, but okay, we're still I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to force it, bro. I don't want to get cooked off the opening volume, so I'm gonna wait. But all right, I really think it wants to take the highs, so let's just see if we can get like some sort of movement out of here. I'm not really loving this price action, but I feel like it clearly wants to go toward these highs. That 5-minute closure is not great, but the 15-minute is looking bad. Like it's starting to break the range. All right, you know what? Why not, bro? We're just gonna try it. We're on video, so do this. You have a clear break even here for sure, which is this right here. In terms of stop loss, go down here, probably below this. Honestly, like a 1-to-1 here. I don't know. I mean, I would probably go break even here. There might even be a re-entry later. Let's just see though. Break even for sure at that high, I'm gonna say. Okay, stopped out of this one. I do think we want to take the high. So let me lock in here. Okay. I think that this is a better entry potentially because, all right, look, if you look at the 15-minute, you saw me peep it here. We tapped this gap and we're just rejecting so hard. I know this 1-minute price action doesn't look great. 5-minute looks mid as well, but 15-minute to me looks more clear. I care more about the higher time frame. Try this again, right, up to these highs. I really think we want to take these highs. I'm pretty confident in this. I'd be confident re-entering this if this gets stopped out, you know, like, so be it, I suppose, right? Let's just see if we can. Okay, we're getting that movement. Now we're going to go break even. We took out all these highs, so at this point, right, if it doesn't want to trend toward that, it makes sense. Like, that's fine. Okay, we're going to start trailing because, like, if us being up 33 points, I'm not really trying to get break even on this. Like, clearly I'm right on the direction. So, all right, keep trailing higher. Even to here maybe at this point because, you know, I'm not going to, like, freak out over 4 points. So we'll just go near. Nice. Okay, I know I re-entered. I know that's kind of crazy, but I feel like the draw was really clear, and that's the most important thing is the higher time frame. We have a good draw, so maybe I think 3 or 4, or I think that's 5 trades now, right? Maybe 4 and 1 or so. Okay, let's see what we can get out of here. All right, this one, like overall, this range isn't great, but like we're still more clearly bearish. One big tip that I have for you, right? If you're trying to learn to trade continuation, one thing that I want you to do is like every time you're backtesting, or every time you're like jumping on to look at trades, try and just see like what looks like the most obvious draw. That was one thing when I was learning continuation that was just helpful to me. Like to me, I feel like the most obvious draw is just this, right? We're trending toward this low. To me, it just makes sense that we're coming for this low. Like check another time frame, even the 4 hour. Obviously, this isn't the greatest range, but like it doesn't really make sense that we would come for like this next higher draw before we come to this. It's possible, like don't get me wrong, it's possible, everything's possible, but like it makes sense that we want to come for this. So just try and look for a trade toward that draw, and I feel like it's like what you want to do. So even this, like I'm not going to enter off open because it's not that clear yet, but it just makes sense that we want to come lower to me. Okay, so we edged the low, starting to get a move up. We could definitely catch an entry here, right? 15-minute peep, tapped this. Like look at the hourly, bro. I know this is rejecting hard, but if we start trending back toward this low, tell me a world where we don't want to take this. Obviously, like nothing's 100% in trading, but if this candle ends up getting like a body that comes back down to here and we edge this low, like pretty much equal lows right here, tell me we don't want to take that low, bro. Like I feel like it's obvious. Okay, of course, as I say that, we're flipping, but let's see if we come back down, then we're gonna look for an entry. The hourly, is still higher. Okay, we just need like some displacement lower. We're not really getting a good displacement candle. This one's looking like a fake out here. We need like a really good move through here. Rip. Okay, so we're starting to get the move down. We're not trading through this news. What is it? Yeah, it's Fed chair 2. Yeah, we're not taking anything here, but I feel like it's pretty, yeah, bro, this is so unfortunate. It's pretty clear that we want to come lower, I would say, now, because look at, like I said, the equal lows. If you look back on the hourly, it's starting to trade back lower. 4 hour doesn't look that clean, but 15-minute, look at that, rejected all these gaps, boom, boom, didn't close above any of them, starting to come down, made a nice top wick, and it's just flipping through this whole move. We're not going to trade the news. Obviously, the 1 minute price action is kind of shit, but something like this wouldn't be bad. But again, okay, took it out. Do we, honestly, I'm not going to look for another trade unless maybe, oh, we didn't take this yet. Okay, I'm tripping. Maybe we could try and see if there's something toward this, but if it takes it off this next candle, then we'll just be done. Okay, yeah, next day. Because there wasn't really a good lower draw that I liked for that day. All right, let's see here again. Remember, we're just looking for a draw that makes sense. So I noticed we haven't tapped this 4 hour yet, so that's something important. I mean, I'll mark out this high. See, if we break this range, like, it makes sense to come down to that low, which is also the 4 hour gap for sure. And we're inside of this massive 4 hour above, so I don't really want to like long through that gap anyways, unless like, I mean, okay, maybe I take it back. I don't love the idea of longing through here, but if you check the hourly, not a bad draw. So if we're getting really good displacement higher, especially if we tap this 4 hour and start moving up, or sweep these lows, start moving up, then it's reasonable. But you just want to be careful how you long through these like massive gaps, unless you're near the top. That's like my tip. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like longing down here, but if I'm like all the way longing at a position where like here, like it has to inverse the gap eventually, so something like this isn't crazy once we're like coming through most of the gaps, so it just depends. But let's just see what we get out of this, honestly. Hopefully we, okay, it looks like we're not gonna come down first, but it would have been nice to take out the lower draws first. Equal highs, by the way, at that high I have marked out. Okay, there's the news, right? Nice. Tapped in this gap. Let's see if we can start to move higher, bro. This would be so clean if we can move higher out of here. Starting to kind of move up. All right. Boom. To me, this is an entry, bro. Look, equal highs at this hourly. I know this isn't the greatest draw ever, but look at that. Equal highs. We already tapped the 4 hour. Like, there's no more reason for us to come lower. Remember, the higher time frame tells us so much. Bro, there's literally no reason to come lower. We tap this gap, starting to reject nicely. I really think this is a good draw. Semi-protected stop, which is going to be right below this. I mean, obviously, if it gets tapped, it gets tapped. If that's okay, but I'm comfortable taking this. So, okay, just do it, bro. All right, this is kind of trash price action. But again, remember, draw's important. Potentially, you could have got break even, depending where you decided to go break even if you went here. But probably wouldn't have gone break even right here. Another thing I want to emphasize about continuation trading is I see so many people always go break even at the like first internal high they see. Like, they'll go up 2 points in profit, go break even. If you're constantly going break even, but you're always letting your losers like never, you know, like if you're always letting your full loss hit, right? You never like close early, but you're always like going break even early. Over time, you're not going to make as much money because you're never letting yourself get a chance to even be in any drawdown, which would allow you to hit TP, right? On a trade like this, if you just instantly went break even when you're like 5 points up, would have got break even and then ran higher. So I've been trying to like get to a point where I'm more comfortable just like allowing myself to be in some drawdown, experience the drawdown, because I know that if the trade direction is correct, then I'm okay with being in it longer, and only unless like something happens, like if I have a good reason to go break even, I will. So in this case, right, maybe you would go break even like after this point right here. Like once we're trading all the way up to here somewhere in this candle, like once we surpass this previous high, you could have gone break even, and it looks like it might have got hit, but I'm gonna guess just based on this anatomy, probably what happened was boom, movement up right before it closed, came back down, closed right here, and then at that point we never went back to the break even point. So honestly, would have probably been safe on this one. So I want to just move to the next day, but I'm curious if we take this high, because like I said, see if there's any more movement up. It might just be dead here. Okay, yeah, I mean, at this point, I probably wouldn't trade it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're done. Oh, it looks like it's getting some volume, but we're done. unfortunately. I mean, I'm not going to take, like, if I already take a good win, like if I take the draw I'm looking for, then I'm going to be done. So, all right, let's see here. Again, right, I don't want to long through this gap, but if we start getting toward the top, then this still isn't a terrible draw. Is this a news candle? Yeah, it is. All right. So, okay, on a day like this, right, I've talked about this a lot before. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. When we have data candle, right, if we take out one side of the candle, like the top, then we might want to target the bottom. But if we take out the bottom, then we might want to target the top. But one thing I've noticed about news candles is, right, like I used to have way higher faith in them. I thought like there was like almost always going to hit. And here's the thing is they do frequently get hit, but if we're just like clearly disrespecting the news candle, so in this case, if we're just getting a movement like straight up, right, we don't always have to trade to this. I used to get too locked in on my bias with news candles. So definitely, if we're trading toward a news candle, don't be afraid to trade at it. Like that's a good draw. But if we're not trading toward it, like don't turn away from taking a trade in the opposite direction is basically what I'm saying. So in this case, I'm going to have it marked out. If we start trading toward it, then I'm open to a trade. But okay, hopefully this would be a good example of that. That'd be cool. But see, we got a nice move up. We're going to wait though here. I mean, you honestly, I suppose you could have longed here, but obviously hindsight. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. The draw still doesn't look bad. We're starting to get close. I want to see us get a little bit closer. Maybe like good displacement through here could be nice. What are we thinking? Let's see. All right, that is good displacement. I'm not going to lie. Let's check our time frames. Remember, go through the time frames. Gives you a good idea. If you check 15-minute here, right, tap this gap, nice wick downward, boom, pushes up. Check our hourly, obviously more bullish overall. This is a really good closure. When we close above like a previous high, I like that, like closing with volume on the hourly. Looks good. We're getting through the gap. Obviously, we got to get through the gap eventually. It looks like we're going to inverse it. So I'm kind of liking this idea. Check our 5-minute. Look at this rejection on both these tiny top wicks and then like huge bottom wicks. Good sign, shows we're overall more bullish. Why not? Let's see. See the R on this. 1-to-1 here? Why not, bro? Let's run it. Let's run it. We're up 11 points. I don't really like reducing risk. Like if I'm gonna go break even, I like to go break even. I'm gonna let this one play. Okay, nice. That would have been unfortunate if that flipped there. It didn't really have a reason to flip, I don't think, but now it looks like we're coming through this gap, so nice. Okay, we'll try and catch maybe one more. I feel like have I traded every day? If so, that's kind of crazy. Like I said, I'm open to trading every day if there's good price action, but just depends what we get. Okay, all right, here again we're looking for a higher time frame draw. As you'll see, we're tapping into this gap. We're showing a sign of rejection, but we are also inside of this 4-hour to the left. So like it kind of just depends what we get out of this. This is one of those days where I don't really have a clear bias. Like I'm just gonna kind of have to watch and see. I mean, I see this news candle, which is nice, but otherwise, like I don't really have any obvious draw I want to go toward. I don't really want to trade up into this 4-hour gap. What can I mark out otherwise? Honestly, I feel like we'll just look for a trade toward the news candle. Otherwise, there's not really anything I want to see happen. Okay, down candle. I'm already kind of liking this for shorts, but I'm definitely going to wait. A lot of the time, though, with news, like it might just deliver with no good retrace. So we'll see. Okay. Like I feel like at this point, like I said, it's just sometimes it just delivers with no retrace. Like it tends to be a strong draw if we're trending in that direction. Like I said, either on the previous trade or 2 trades ago or whatever, if we're trading away from it, don't be afraid to trade away from it. That's what I'm saying. But if we're trading toward it, like please trade along with it. Like it is a strong draw. If we are trading in that direction, don't be afraid to trade toward it. So check the 4-hour again. Like look at this 4-hour. I just really don't think we're coming higher yet. I mean overall, obviously we're going up over time, but like look at this move. Like this is such a bearish move, bearish rejection. It doesn't really make sense for us to come lower. I don't think we're just going to leave this news for a 1-to-1. I mean, I guess you could put your stop loss above this wick, but I think a 1-to-1's fine here. Like at this point, if it comes up here, then maybe I just have the wrong idea. So taps that there. Okay, nice. Potentially you could have gone break even on this here. This one is kind of up in the air because like live trading this, maybe I would have gone break even, but again, there's not really a break even point for this, right? Like it's just this wick that we're trading into. So maybe just would have held, maybe we would have gone break even halfway down. Like I can't really say, but when I'm live trading, like sometimes I have a slightly different analysis. Just it kind of depends. So nice trade there. Let me check. Let's see. I'm gonna check real quick, see how long we've been going for, because this might be a good place to end it. Okay, we're getting close to the 30-minute point, so I think this is just a good place to call it. I don't know, I feel like this month was really obvious, so I feel bad because I don't want to just show you guys the most obvious months, but sometimes like the months are just easier than others, and I want to show you guys how simple it can be. Look what I was doing throughout this entire video. I was just looking for those higher time frame trends. Look what we're trading toward and then taking trades. I think I took one L and then don't worry, we revenge traded it back, but pretty good win rate today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any trading questions, please comment them below, and I hope to see you in the next one.